Good afternoon, folks. We are up and running and live once again. Oh, let me switch everything over to the right layout, and we will pick up where we left off last time in Blaster Master. Alright, we should have audio and video. And controls and everything looks like we are good to go. When we last left off last week on the playthrough, we had started working on Blaster Master on NES from the very beginning. And we're on a pretty decent clip. We're getting through the game till we hit Area 5. Area 5 was easily the stone wall, trying to get through the boss fight, having to go and farm power-ups. 6 was not a cakewalk either. I think our burn continued there. But now we're on Area 7. This is the volcanic area, second to last area of the game. And looking at our loadout screen here, the last power-up we received for beating the ice zone was Wall 1, which allows me to scale walls vertically, but not the ceiling yet. We're going to get that ability for beating this level. And so all we need to do is proceed through this particular zone, get to the boss, and keep making our way towards the end of the game. And for this one, okay, I remember which boss is here. We need to head to the right. Hey, Red Dragon's here. Red Dragon says, "Rejoice, I am here." Hey, Red Dragon, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a decent week. I know you just got your computer back up and running. Have you tried testing out Wilds with your new setup yet? Does it run better? Actually do decent damage. And they're fast. Okay. The red spinning enemies. Those give power drops, unlike the regular ones, which drop hover. So maybe we should keep our health as topped up as possible here. Okay, you haven't tested it yet. Well, hopefully it runs better. I know you had to upgrade it, was it CPU, then the RAM and whatnot? Or was it GPU too? Ah. Ooh. That's nice. It's rare, but we can get the gun power-ups out in the wild, and I believe they just go straight into our gauge in Jason mode. CPU, RAM, motherboard, and cooler. Okay, I gotcha. What CPU did you end up getting? I don't think you told me. You might have been looking at a couple. Okay, I gotta remember where we're going. I think we're studying down into the right. A lot of the areas in the 7th level look similar, but I believe as you go, you should see the enemies change, kind of like in Area 4. So I think we're on the right track. Now we have the kind of plotting enemies from the very first zone who come out of nowhere and drop on us. Now the tile set changes. Oh, spinning enemies again. Okay, Dragon got a Ryzen 7 7800X 3D. Okay, that's a pretty sizable boost in CPU power. I was not able to get my hands on one of those at the time when I bought my recent CPU. It was either out of stock or in a price range I wasn't willing to pay for. And so mine is a 5800X 3D, I think. Same line, just a couple iterations below. Okay, where are we going? No, I don't think that's the way. Okay, There is a one-way loop through here. If I go back, I won't be able to get back through here until I get the power-up that lets me get on the ceiling. Should put a save point here. We're already not necessarily doing this without save states. Let me put this on a new one. Okay, I think this is still the right path. Hey, I see Yato's here. What's up, Yato? How's it going? Welcome to the retro games stream, where we attempt to beat games in less than 10 sessions. We're continuing where we left off last week in Blaster Master, in second to last area. Okay. This is the right way to go. We should have a new enemy type here. Nope, just more looping enemies. Ooh, I think I went in a circle. Okay, I might be wrong. Yep. I was supposed to go that other way, I think. Some of these areas, yeah, they do look similar. But I do believe we're going to come back through here once we beat the boss, and that's how we're going to get back to the beginning of the level. Okay. This is the right way to go, I think. We always want to be headed to the right. Okay, now this is the enemy switch I was looking for. These large gun-wielding enemies we haven't seen for a couple zones. This is our indication we're heading the right way. The tile set looks the same, but the enemy set's different. And now we have this sort of lava tunnel looking area. This is where we want to be. The boss arena is through here. It's like a little bit of a maze, but not too difficult to navigate. Though we can't get out of here without hover until we beat the boss and get the ability to go on the ceilings. There without hover. Oh. Just out of reach. Okay, might actually need to get hover. Oh, no, okay, we just barely get up there. Okay, this, I believe, is where we need to be. So now we have a lava tile set, similar to the sewers. And I didn't demonstrate this, but if I fall in the lava, it's instant death. So we don't want to do that. We have those gunner enemies. A bit of a problem because I have a weak weapon now, so I have to go for grenades. Ooh, that'll help. Even the weird curvy shot will allow me to hit things from a little further away. Won't really help on the boss, though. Ah. Like that, I've lost my decent weapon. Serious disadvantage with the default pea shooter. This is going to be a pretty tough boss fight if I go in here with half health. Oh, I didn't realize they do volleys. I thought they just fire non-stop. They do, like, 3 or 4 shots. If I hadn't gotten to that other part without taking all those hits, I would have had full gauge. Oh well. At least we can snipe them. Let's go. Boss room. Whoa, we got ourselves a raid. Toxicure. 27 worms. Wazzy and crew. Hey, how's it going, folks? Welcome to the stream. Let me get a shout out for Wazzy. Oh, that's weird. Wonder why it shouted out my own stream. Usually it doesn't do that. let me figure out why that happened. Ace says we love your music. Oh, thanks, folks. There it goes. Thanks, Red Dragon. I did the same command. I don't know why it shouted out my own stream. But arts. How did the arts go today? How many successful images and or cursed memes were created today? We are currently playing through an old NES classic, one of my favorite games, Blaster Master, which actually inspires a lot of the music I make, including the latest release that came out a week or so ago. And we're nearing the end of the game. And I'll probably beat it this session, at which point we will probably look at something else from the NES library. Ballistic says, while he finished drawing updated worm designs. Oh, is this all of the avatar designs for the crew? That's cool. Alright, it's boss time. It's time to fight an angry volcanic frog. If I can get it in the mouth and pause at the right time, then it will die. But if I miss, I'm gonna get mauled. Oh, this one doesn't follow a set pattern like the green one. Let's see, Sir Knight says, I just learned how bad it is by making one for someone in chat. Ah, that is a process. Alright, let us reload outside the boss room. We are running low on continues. I wonder why window keeps resizing. Doesn't look like it did on the broadcast. Let me see if I can fix that. There, it's better. Alright, let's try that again. Oh, that was it. Cool. Wow, it's a really tight hitbox. Oh man, I think that's gonna kill me. So the name of the game here, and this is a cheat in game, an exploit for most of the bosses in this game, not all, but most of them. If you manage to land a hit and get them to flash like they're taking damage and pause, it basically stacks the damage infinitely, and you can kill them pretty quick. But I think I took a fatal hit, so it's probably gonna kill me at the same time. Yup. Okay. So that's what I need to do. And I think the hit window can only be done with grenades. I don't know if it can be done with a regular gun. Red Dragon says, Raku's cheating. I'm telling. You guys want to see the end of the game or not? We'll be here for like 5 hours if I try and beat this without using some of the exploits, because I don't have really strong weaponry at the moment. It does not work on the last two enemies, their last two bosses of the game. So I do have to do that legit. Ah! Wasn't fast enough. I did it again. Yeah. The reason why I'm doing this from a reload state instead of just using continues because it's going to put me way back at the beginning of the level. I'm only going to do this near some of the bosses. This game is also pretty merciless in that you don't have infinite continues. Otherwise, I wouldn't be caring as much about having to do areas over. But in the last session, last week when we were playing this, I blew through at least 2 of the 5 continues you get in this game. So, with in the interest of actually beating the game on stream, that's why I'm doing that. Ah. Sure seems random. I think that the actual jumping attack pattern might be random for this boss. Our biggest window is when it does the tongue. Like so. But can't miss. Ah! Red Dragon says, yeah, Wilds runs great. 40%-ish. Instead of 100%. Oh, nice. So the new config works well. That's good. My computer still sounds like a jet engine when it's running Wilds. Game runs okay, and I can stream it with my model decently enough, but... Ah! Oh, man, I'm not fast enough. That's 2 direct hits. Well, I have to tone some of the Wild settings down, because with my model it pushes my computer. But it's runnable. I see Red Dragon is redeemed. Drop a beat. Alright, let me try and a couple more attempts at this, and then we can always pause for the beat. Ah, that was it. Okay, after this I'll do the beat, otherwise I'm gonna forget. Alright, get down here, you goober. Gotcha, finally. Alright, let's let this go for a minute. If we take the pause off too quickly, then it won't do full damage, so I usually let this run for a bit just to make sure it absolutely kills the boss. Alright. Fire Frog is dead. I'm going to create a save here. I don't want to do that fight again. And we can do the beat while we're here. Okay, let's make sure everything is muted. And I'll put my headphones on. Alright, what kind of beat should we do today? Maybe we'll do something a bit more mid-tempo-ish. It's been a hot minute. And also to formally welcome all of the folks who came over with the raid. So, let's come up with something interesting. All right. My headphones. Now, back to the game for beating Angry Froggy. We have now gotten the final power-up on our tank loadout here on the inventory screen. Wall number 2. This is another traversal power-up for our tank. If we pop back in to the driver's seat and heal. Before, we had wall 1, which lets us go up the walls vertically. With wall 2, we can now go on the ceilings. The control scheme is really weird, and they didn't really fix how this works until Blaster Master 0. But basically, if you are running along a surface that has ceilings and floors like this, and you just keep pressing in one direction, then you'll just go up the wall, up the ceiling. If you stop, then you can just control which direction you go normally. The tricky thing is, the power-up automatically activates when you go over an edge. If you hit jump, it'll disengage and just drop down. But some of the spots in the game where you're going along one ledge high blocks with like a hazard below, like lava or acid, if you're not careful, your tank will just pop down the edge and immediately drop into a hazard because it triggers automatically. So from here on, we're going to have to be a bit careful in how we traverse dangerous areas. We can find ourselves plummeting directly into certain doom without even trying. But this is the final power-up we need to get to the last area in the game. And to do so, we have to do a bit of backtracking. In the previous session, we talked about how this game, in the early NES library, was not only known for its difficulty, but in its kind of unclear direction. There was no map. There's no specific guide that tells you to go here, here, here. I believe the instruction booklet has a couple vaguely cryptic hints about what to do, but you have to backtrack through some earlier levels once you get different power-ups in order to access future spots in the game for progress. And so now we're in area 3 or 7, and we're gonna have to go all the way back to area 3. Fortunately, we can take a shortcut. Well, we go. That's exactly what I was illustrating. If we go up through here, this will lead us back to the beginning of the level. Which I didn't realize before, but this is the first screen. And now we're back in area 2. So we've got to backtrack through here a bit, and then go from 2 to 3. And then that's the final zone of the game. Easily the most dangerous. This is what I was talking about with the wall power-up. Because it'll trigger if I go off that immediately. That's a lava hazard. It will just do damage. If I drive straight over it, it'll automatically just tip me down like that. And that's not what we want, because that will kill me. In Zero, they fixed that. They made it so that it's a toggle, I believe. It's a lot easier to control when you trigger the wall walking power-ups. We need to go up towards the middle of the section and then break down some barriers to hit level 3 right there. Now we're back here. This is the sort of factory-ish looking level. Try to just barely inch over there and hit the enemy. It was not successful. There we go. Those little grubs are too short for me to shoot, but if I have homing missiles, I can snipe them. Okay, this is the spot where we need to be. Passed through this area when we came here initially, but we didn't go up here. There was no reason to. With Wall 1 and Wall 2, we can get past this spike barrier and wind away all the way around, and this is going to take us to the final area of the game. We can do a save right here. This next area is very dangerous. Area 8, which is a very different tile set compared to everywhere else we've seen in the game. It's sort of like the inside of a creature. I think canonically we're in some sort of organism. And it's full of hazards like the spikes like we see here. And throughout the game, and this is one of my favorite titles from the NES, I've talked a lot about the music and all the themes in the different levels and how cool they are. This is the one theme in the game that I'm not a super huge fan of. Not because it's a bad song, it's very creepy and atmospheric, which is kind of the whole point of this level. It's just, I think it's the unsettlingness compared to the rest of the songs, which are really kind of like higher energy and kind of fun to listen to. This one just gives me anxiety. So it's an effective theme, but wouldn't be throwing it on a playlist. Uh-oh. Okay, be careful. I believe we need to get underneath all of these hazards. Okay, yeah. Oh boy. But we gotta be careful since touching the spike hazards does a pretty decent amount of damage. Okay. Now I think we need to head to the right. Yeah, that's a doorway we need. To get there, we essentially have to go across. I'm out of hover, which lets me fly. If I had that, I could just kind of zip up there, but I'm empty. So we're going to have to try and carefully platform our way across. I actually don't think I could jump that. Okay, I gotta think how to get there without using any of my flight. We can't drive through the spikes because it disengages us. If we do that, we'll immediately fall off. Let's see, I might have to inch my way across and jump. Or go on the top layer and then drop down. Maybe that's a better play. Oh, that's definitely not what I wanted. Okay. Health. Something farts on me, I'm dead. Oh, wow. I was lucky. Tile set reminds me a bit of Metroid. Similar vibe. Let's see. Which way? We gotta think a bit on the critical path here. It's been a while. Okay, I think this is where we gotta go. Ugh. Let's see if I can get some health. Or maybe some hover. Hover would be nice. The last time I was telling the chat about how, because I like this game a lot, I usually play through it maybe once a year. And so all of the critical path areas are fairly fresh in my mind for the good first half of the game. The last two zones, because it takes so long to get there, are a little less fresh in my mind. No, we got a hover though. That's good. So it might be a little bit of trial and error getting through these last spots, but we'll be able to get through it. Guess it wouldn't be the worst spot to burn my continue here. Because if I die once, it's going to kick me back to the beginning of the level anyway. We'll see how far we get. think we need to go down through here to the right. A couple of these spots look very similar. Let's see if I'm right. Oh boy. That's what I wanted to avoid. Alright. Okay, let's try and get back to where we were and don't burn any lives. That was a shortcut I was thinking of. A couple bars of health, and that drops us all the way to the bottom. Okay, so we're back here again, and didn't take too long to get a couple screens further. But, oh, I lost all of my sub-weapons. Right. Ah! Let's see if we can farm the grubs for hover. Or I can disengage by accident. This is just one of the regular dungeons. We can get some power-ups. Maybe we would get hover in there. But I'm not too concerned about doing the dungeons. I'm more concerned with just getting to the final boss. Technically, I could drop directly down through there. I would take 2 pips of damage. Let's see if we can get some health from these wall-walking enemies. So I might just drop down and save some time. Thing is, I don't want to be 100% near death. I'm just going to go around. Rude. Oh. I think I did something very similar to that last time I was here. Okay. This is where we need to go. Now the tile set's changed, kind of more like, almost like intestinal lining, looks like. Very gross and weird. And this is a real unfortunate spot to be in without my missiles. Might actually be worth taking a side detour to the dungeons for the sub-weapons. I forgot about that. It's not having the ability to shoot low enemies like that. It's going to be a problem. Try and brute force it. Nope. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is my last continue. So I'm gonna reload the state when I first got here. Because this one, if we're careful, we can make it all the way to the boss, especially with the sub-weapons I've got. Thing is, I'd have to save scum it, because as soon as I die, it's going to go back to the beginning and I'll lose all that. Let's give it a try. Maybe I'll get lucky with some of the drops. Get some hover. It's not. Well, it's not going to work. Hover. No hover. The exact same thing again. It's really tricky to disengage the wall by jumping before you hit a platform. That's why I didn't time it correctly. But I see we have 5 hydrates from Red Dragon. Drink water. No shake today, Red Dragon. I actually ate a lunch for once. Okay, there we go. If we're gonna save scum it, maybe I should put it on a different file. And what we'll do is we'll kind of incrementally save when we get further on, and then I don't want to do that all the way up to the boss room, but if it means not having to do the level over again, being able to get through some of the tougher parts, that'll be okay. Again, the point is to beat the game, not beat it with programmer strats. It's not a speed run. I think a speed run for this game is like maybe 40 minutes, 35 minutes. We're definitely not doing that. Okay, let's see if we can get some hover. I just need 1 pip to get across that without dying. Okay, that's 1. Okay, good enough. We'll continue on. I could stop in that dungeon and see if there's anything good, but that's not what I wanted. You know what? Since we're here, let's take a look. A powered up gun from all the power-ups I picked up earlier. I guess if we can max out the gun, that would help. Like that. Ah! There it goes. One hit and your gun loses 1 bar or pip. Where do you come from? Ah. Okay. That's annoying, but having maxed out gun isn't super critical. It would be nice to have against the final boss, but I'm pretty sure you can't take it to both phases of the final series of fights in at the end of the game. So at this point, we're just looking for maybe some hover power-ups. And if we die, I'll just reload, since we're in that other room. Ooh. Okay. More homing missiles. Hover. Full health. Alright, alright. That will definitely help. Getting more of the homing missiles will make taking out those grubs easier. So, yeah, that was worth. Also worth noting, we just did the lava area that had the lava pools that are insta-death. I think this is supposed to be like acid pools or like some sort of caustic substance. We fall in that, it's instant death. So we don't want to do that. Nope. Okay. Now we have almost a full hover gauge. Just need to be careful not to waste it. Okay. We'll save here. This will be our checkpoint just in case things go south and I die. Sheep. Okay, I'm gonna be a little bit more cautious here. That's really interesting. Sometimes it won't actually pick up the power-ups when I'm going across the floors and ceilings. Yeah, it's a bug. Alright, now we're back here. This is the spot with all the grubs. On its own wouldn't be necessarily that bad, but there's an awful lot of the suckers. Suppose one way around it would be to get out of the tank with our guy Jason and try and shoot them since he's short enough to hit him. But boy, if you screw up, you're hosed. I don't know how I made it out there without dying. Health. Oh. Glad I asked. How many more of that do I have? Oh, okay, we're still fine. Okay. Let's save our progress here. Okay, left is the critical path forward. Now the palette or tile set has changed to like more like an actual intestinal tract now. Those are trouble. They spit out the pink grubs. I'm just gonna book it. Cover? Alright. Okay. I think this is the last area of the game. We're gonna save here. And this big room full of blocks, I believe there's only one main path through here. I just don't remember if there's items hidden here or not. We won't bother clearing everything out. But we'll take a look and see. There might be some gun power-ups we can grab before we go into the next major fight. Ah. Okay, let's just go clockwise. Counterclockwise, rather. Nope. I don't need to fully exit the room if I just go back through the door I came through. Yeah. If we had a better gun, we could clear this a lot easier. But we don't. Not worth it. Okay, I think that's it. It's one of these top rooms. No, not that one. I think it's this one in the middle. Alright, it's boss time. Hey, look, it's the guy from the cover. Okay. So this is the second to last boss. And his deal is not terribly complicated. He stuck to the wall, spits out these bouncing hairballs, which come out 3 at a time. And you just have to line up shots on the head. And I think canonically this enemy is called the Plutonium Boss. It's kind of like the main antagonist of the game. And I believe this sticks me... Yep, okay. We don't have multiple lives to try this, so we're just gonna have to do it from here. Unfortunately, now that I know there's nothing else worth getting here, I'm just gonna head straight to the top. And I'll do one last interim save right before there, so I don't have to bust down all these walls every time. Yeah, okay, that's it. Okay. Get ready to watch me do this fight several times. The pausing glitch does not work on this boss or the one that comes after it. Just have to do it. Ow. Well, let's take off 2. Oh no, I was wrong. It's not groups of 3, it's groups of 5. But if you keep dropping grenades, I forgot about this. Due to the sheer amount of things moving around the screen, the game will slow down a bit, which makes it a little bit easier to dodge them. If I didn't do that, the hairballs would be bouncing very quickly. Not that it's a lot easier, but it's a bit more manageable. It's essentially a bullet hell game now. I'll get the 5th one out. Ow. Ooh. Not a good run. Well, I guess it still offers a pretty decent amount of slowdown when there's 5 of them out, even if I'm not dropping grenades. But I'm missing like crazy. Oh, I didn't realize we're at level 2 gun. Let me try and use my gun for a little of this fight. At least until I take a hit or something. Just at least hang back a bit. Not be directly in the boss's face. Trade-off's gonna be the straight shooting gun. It does not do as much damage as grenades. It's gonna take longer. It's a bit easier to line up though, admittedly. Ooh. That's close. Okay, we can take one more hit before we lose that level of gun. Then we have to get up close and personal. Goes. You're off to a decent start. Ah. This boss doesn't give any sort of indication that it's low on health. But I think we were more than halfway. Let's see if we can go longer without taking a hit and losing the long shot. I get 5 of them out. I actually want it to slow down because it's easier to manage. Ow. Come on. Okay, that's a good string of hits. Got him. Alright, just for the sake of progress, I'm gonna put an interim save here. We'll do a different file, just in case this goes further south. But we got one more fight, which is, I think, a little more difficult than that one. But we don't get a break. We're going to go right into it. This is the Underworld Lord. This is essentially the true final boss of the game. And his pattern isn't terribly difficult. He doesn't stop moving until he attacks. He always tries to home in on your position, and he tries to hit you with this sort of flame whip. Tricky thing is, it comes out extremely fast. And we can pin him against the corner like that, but we're not going to cheese this fight. Let's do it legit. And I see Ballistic redeemed a stretch. I'll do that as soon as I get a break. Ow. Okay, don't judge the boss. It's like 3 pips of damage. Let's see. His shield's taking damage. That's the first phase. Once he loses the shield. Okay. I think that's like 50% HP. Okay. So that's that fight. You just have to keep moving, line your attacks up, and don't get whipped. Easy, right? Let's get that stretch. Oh. I didn't realize I still have 1 shot left on my gun. I don't know if it's really that helpful. Being far away from this guy is actually worse than being up close. Because the whip can go diagonally at a couple different angles. It cannot go directly sideways, and it cannot go up. So straight down at an angle. But not in the opposite direction. And it seems like the AI is kind of set to automatically start pathing further down to not give you free hits in the dead zones on the sides of the boss. So if we kind of kite him downwards and try and get perpendicular, probably better play there. We just have to be close for the grenades. Ah. And don't walk into him by accident. This is what I was showing off a second ago. If we get him kind of stuck up against the wall, I don't think he'll path all the way down to your position, but he essentially gets stuck, and you can just cheese him to death. But considering I'm using save states, let's do this fight legit. This might take a few tries. Actually, I'm gonna start over, since I did demonstrate the exploit. I think that's the speedrun strat for beating this boss. You just pin him against the side and take him out quickly. Ooh. Oh, I forgot you can do it multiple times too. Also worth noting, we get the level 7 theme. It's kind of like the final boss battle theme, which is kind of cool. Ow. Ah. I should put myself more on the right. There is a maximum angle that the whip can cross. So if we're on the right side of the boss, it won't be able to hit us. But I think it would be at least past the leg. Yeah, that's the most extreme angle it can hit, I believe. Whoops. And I keep forgetting I can shoot grenades diagonally. I only learned that recently in playing through this game. It's a little bit tricky to kind of mash at an angle on the D-pad, but you can shoot diagonally with grenades. Remember, I can do that. Aw, thought I could get below. Oh. Okay, shield's broken. Oh. I can't tell if he starts moving faster as he gets lower in health. Maybe I'm just getting bad at predicting when he's going to stop. Also doesn't help that I'm not full health here. Oh well. The odds of getting through the fight before this without taking a single hit is not likely. We'll take what we can get. Aw, man. Getting too greedy. Aw. That's like free 3 pips of health if he manages to touch me. I wonder if the Attack is also triggered by how far you are. I didn't think about that. We could test that. No, it doesn't look like it. Bad choice. Oh yeah, I forgot you can strafe. I read that on a fax board somewhat recently. If you hold down grenade, you can strafe with your regular gun. Not that it helps a lot in this fight. But there's a couple fights earlier in the game when that would have made a difference. So normally you turn in the direction that you're firing. Aw. Not off to a great start. Yeah, I'm not thinking my chances are too much greater trying to keep distance with the pea shooter. Gotta go for grenades. Dodge better. Ah. They only got him down to the last phase on the very first run, huh? And the shield's gone. There it is. No more shield. And instantly die. I do think the boss sprite's pretty cool looking. Very detailed and different in style compared to pretty much everything else you fight, boss-wise. You fight a lot of creatures. You don't fight anything else humanoid up till this point in the game. Oh, come on. This is one of those times I wish I had this configured for the analog stick on the left. I'm using the D-pad and I'm really having to kind of mash on it, just hurting my finger. Ah, come on, really? It is toe. Ooh. Ah, thought I could pinch him against the wall. Let's try a different strategy. Let's try and stay a bit further away. Just chip with the pea shooter. Oh no, there it's gone. If we had maxed out gun, this fight would be marginally more manageable, but not really that much easier. You'd still have to get close. I'm trying to get whipped. Okay, Pete Shooter's no good. Oh, come on, really? Ah, got greedy. I'm trying a slightly different pattern, moving a bit more laterally when I see him wind up. Instead of trying to move up or down, since there's a dead angle, I try and move side to side to dodge. I think that'll work a little bit better. I should have been doing that from the beginning, but I'm an idiot. Ah! Doesn't help with that, though. Shield's gone. I don't know. Maybe it's just my eyes, but it definitely seems like he picks up speed a bit when he no longer has the shield. Come on. I think I can only get... Oh, alright, gotcha. I'm gonna say I only had one more hit left. Alright, you ready for the most satisfying end cutscene? So the mountain, question mark, we were inside, collapsed, and whatever the mutants were doing to the environment was undone. Now everything's pretty again. We've got our hero Jason, who has blue hair now, and his pet frog he found, Fred. And that is Blaster Master on NES. I'll let the credits go because there's one last thing on the last screen that makes it all worth it. So like I mentioned, this is one of my favorite games on the NES. It is very difficult. If you know what you're doing and you know where to go, it's not too bad. But the fact that there's limited continues, which is why I was save scumming at the end, makes it pretty tough to get through. If you're doing this on a legit console with no ability to save state, you pretty much have to know everything and be perfect, especially in that last level. Alright, pretty short credits too, not a ton of people worked on this game. On screen we see the crest of Sophia 3, our tank. And our end screen, the end. Very thanks, which is just beautiful, poetic. Presented by Sunsoft. I think this is probably one of the best games they made. Very thanks. As is typical for these old NES games. Wonky translations. I think they just assumed no one was going to get to this end screen. But that is it for this one. Let me see. Still got some time left on stream before we wrap up for today. We could look at... I was going through the archives recently, actually. And way back when I first started streaming as a VTuber, this is on YouTube, so it's in the stream archives for YouTube, not in the regular archives for the videos. But I showed off a game that we played all the way through called Milon's Secret Castle. Largely considered one of the worst games, or one of the more notorious quote-unquote bad games on the NES. But I happen to like that game quite a bit. And we played all the way through it, but again, this was like 4 years ago now. What we could do is just boot that one up, and we could see how far I can get in the time I've got left. I don't know if I'll be able to beat it, but just as a way to sort of play through for nostalgia's sake, something I did way back at the beginning of my VTubing career. Let's take a look. I'll talk a bit about the game since it's been a bit. Maybe I should change my caption. Let's do this. Okay. I'm just going to change my caption. But there's a category on here on Twitch called Milon's Secret Hell. I don't know if it's Milon or Milon. I always call the little guy Milon. We'll change that. I do not expect a lot of people are actively looking for folks playing this game unless they're speedrunners. Oh, this feels way different compared to the controls in Blaster Master. Gone are the super tight controls, and now we've got still okay, but a little more loose controls here. So just by show of hands or confirmations in the chat, who's seen this game before, or at least heard about it? If you ever watched AVGN, he did a spot on this one a long time ago, and boy did he have some not kind things to say about it. Oh, I can change my layout caption too, otherwise people are going to wonder what I'm doing. There we go. Red Giant says, I think so. It reminds me of Alex the Kid. I don't think this one plays quite as tightly as that one. Ballistic says, not me. Okay, well, I'll talk a little bit about what this game is. This is a game made by Hudson, who has a pretty decent catalog of well-known games on the NES. I believe Adventure Island is probably one of their most famous series on the console. But the basic story is in the mystical land or kingdom. I think it's called the Kingdom of Hudson because, of course it is. There's this magical kingdom of people, and they communicate using music. And your main character, Milon, here, is like the only person in the entire kingdom who was born without the gift of music. So he can't communicate with people, and instead, for some reason, he has the ability to shoot bubbles. I don't think it's really that lore dependent, but at some point, an evil wizard, I think his name's Maharito, kidnaps the princess, as they do in these games, and takes her to the top of this big, giant castle labyrinth. And as Milon, you have to get her back. And the game plays out by going through different rooms in this castle, and you have to find items of note and find the exit to the room, and then proceed upwards and fight bosses along the way. This game, I think, gets a little bit too much hate, but a lot of the criticism, I think, of why people criticize it is valid. The honeycomb increases my max life by 1 in most of the areas. We want to try and seek that out and find one. The biggest flaw of Milon's Secret Castle isn't the way it plays in the gameplay. It's the fact that when you start getting through the game, it doesn't tell you what to do. And it's really easy just to get stuck trying to figure out what the next step of things is. So, cryptic. Kind of one of the shortfalls of Blaster Master in the same way of where do I go? But if you know where to go and what to do, then I'd say it's a pretty average game. Not really deserving of being on the worst lists, but not one of the all-time timeless classics, just because there's a lot of flaws. So as we run through the room, we break blocks to get money, and we'll see the shop in a sec. But hidden in each room, there's also a music box, which, again, the game tells you through an incredibly cryptic hint. Touching the music box activates a bonus game. And in the bonus game, you have these little dudes who are just hanging out. You can see that they have a real short, like, kind of clapping animation. And this is a bonus game where you try and catch the music notes in order to get as high score as possible. The regular notes are worth 1. The sharps are worth 2. The flats are worth -1. So don't get the Bs. And as you uncover more of these bonus levels throughout the game, each of the little characters in the back will get a new instrument, and it changes the song, which is one thing I talked about when I played this before. So each bonus you get, that unlocks another instrument, and it adds a layer to the music track, which is a kind of cool feature. But by getting a certain amount of the musical notes, as high score as possible, you get bonus cash, which is in the upper left, the dollar figure. And we need as much cash as we can possibly get, because we gotta buy items. By pushing this miscolored block... Uh-oh. I'll lose my shield. We go into the shop, and I believe when we were playing this before, I called this guy Wizard Ron Jeremy. He's a shopkeeper. He'll sell you useful items that you need for progression in the game. And so, for 16 magic dollars, we get the shoes. And I think he said jump higher in places. It'll give you like a little, somewhat cryptic hint about what to do with whatever thing you buy. Let's see if I can get a heart to spawn. The bee that popped out of the blocks above, the Hudson bee, gives you the shield, which soaks damage from the enemies. But if you take too many hits, it goes away. But if your life is full and you take hits and the shield shrinks, and you get more hearts, it'll refill itself. It'll recharge the shield. So these little platform blocks here, kind of looks like a sideways bench. They are springs. And once you have the shoes I just bought, you can jump higher in these select areas, which is something you need in order to progress through the first couple tiers of the castle. But now that we have the music box, the item, and the key, which is flashing, it spawns in a couple spots in the level. Once you get it, you just have it in your inventory, and you find the door, you can leave. And why is it storming outside? Okay, I'm going to try and linger. If you stay too long on this outer screen, it'll become stormy, and nature itself will try and murder you. Ah, there went my shield. But it'll go away. I just want that off the screen. So hints, these are free. Crystal has mysterious power. He's talking about the little bubbles next to him, which we get for beating bosses. That has no meaning right now, but it does matter later. Find a saw. Great. Also not helpful. For $5, we get the shrinking solution. Shrink when you touch the glove. That also doesn't mean anything until we go into the next level on the castle here. But here we have a new tile set. It's kind of yellow, golden brick area. And just like before, we want to try and break blocks, get money. There is a shop in here we'll try and find. We want to get the honeycomb and the music box. The bubble projectiles that Milon shoots can be angled up and down, but other than that, they can't be aimed. Oh, there's the honeycomb. B is... Ow. There's no, like, hit invincibility here either. I think it's here. Oh, maybe not. There's a B somewhere around here. I just don't remember where exactly. There's music box. And we got a hydrate from lava. What's up, lava? Welcome to the stream. How goes it? Isn't it judo day? Oh, there it is. Cool. Okay, let's see if we can get some health back. Max that shield out for some insurance. These little wrench-wielding gremlins? They're annoying. Okay. Just got the key. We don't have to worry about that anymore. But we need to max health out. Ah, there went my shield. Oh well. Oh, I should have grabbed the honeycomb. That would have maxed me instantly. Oh well. Okay, bonus game round 2. Now we have, I believe on the right, the second row on the right, the dude's got, well, it looks like symbols. Which doesn't change the song too much. You kind of hear like a really light cymbal line going. Once the melodic instruments start unlocking, then the track audibly changes a bit more. Oh, I did worse than last time. Ideally, we want to get closer to like 50. But now, puts us back at the beginning. That's fine. Okay, I don't think there's anything here. No. We'll make our way back up to the other side. Okay, honeycomb. Maxes out our life by 1. So, this green glove is what that shrinking potion thing was referring to. For reasons beyond me, don't ask why. Whenever we touch that, it'll shrink us, and if we hit it again, then it reverts us back. Doing so allows us to squeeze into small areas because our height is decreased by a block. So you do that in order to get to accessible spots. And this is another shop. This time, this run, Jeremy is selling a lantern for $50. Which I can't afford now because I don't have enough money. If I'd done better with the bonus, I would have been closer. This right here is a beginner's trap. We will be able to get this particular item in a later stage for a fraction of that price. If you spend the time grinding up or getting the money to do this and you burn it all here, it will make things a lot harder later. So don't do that. It's a ripoff. It's a scam. Okay. So we've got everything in here. The rooms on each floor of the castle are not terribly large. They get a little bit bigger as you go, but generally it's a couple screens worth of things to find. Find them, and then you can peace out. Now, if we go in here, we have first boss. This is what I call the kangaroo dragon. And this guy just spends his time jumping back and forth, shooting purple fireballs at you. Not terribly difficult in concept, but they do hurt. And the pattern is a little bit fast, so you have to kind of dodge and try and shoot the boss in the face. You can tell you're making contact because the boss will grunt. And in general, a good strat is to kind of hang back. If I die, I can test out the... Oh, never mind. There's a continue code, so you don't lose your progress. But I think you can only do it after you beat the first boss. So beating the boss got us a crystal. And like Wizard Ron Jeremy said, the crystals boost the abilities of your bubbles somehow. Okay, I gotta not linger. I'll get Stormy again. That particular one gave us range. Some will increase the diameter of your bubble, make a larger projectile, and others will increase how far out it goes to shoot things. Okay. There is a bee in here. I think it's on that corner block right above. Let me see if I can max my health out. Or I could die. Oh. And let's see if I can get the honeycomb. It's up there. Uh-oh. Oh, test the continue code now. I think it's hold left. Hold left and start. Yeah, okay, I think that's it. Which will start us back in the room that we were originally on. If you don't do that, and then the game doesn't tell you this either. If you don't do that, it starts you off at the very beginning of the game with nothing. You start the whole thing over. Which is another reason why I think this game got a lot of hate back in the day. Because that's brutal. Oh, there's the honeycomb. I need to be short. Hey. The glove is... Yeah, there it is. Okay. There it is. Now if we can manage to get one more pip of life and then get another blue heart, then it'll increase the power of the shield and we can hold on to it for a little while. Okay. Oh, there's the key. Handy. There we go. Blocks down here spell Hudson because they love to reference their own brand. This item here, we can get the vest. This is the fireproof vest. Helps you in the fire room. Makes sense. If we don't have that, one of the later areas will absolutely destroy us. Uh-oh. Just like that, I'm at risk of losing my shield again. It takes one heart at full life to fully recharge it. Just sometimes you get comboed by a projectile, or you fall on a monster or something, and then boom, your shield is gone. Not critical, but considering how challenging the bosses can be, having some life insurance is always a good idea. Ah, alright, there it goes. Okay, music box is over here. Now we have a bass line. In the upper right, homeboy's playing a tuba. That's the first sort of melodic instrument layer to the track that we get. Ah. Kind of sucking at the minigame. Okay, so we've got shop item, we've got honeycomb, we have the music box. I think there might be one or two money blocks in here, but I think we got everything we need. So shrink. And that room is done. Now, the second one on this floor, this sort of green brick tile set, introduces more of these melting breakaway tiles. And it's kind of a one big box room with all of the important stuff we want in the middle. And that sound was the key appearing, but I believe it's going to appear somewhere in the middle. I'll have to do another circuit because there's some stuff up here I need, but we'll get the key first. That's mostly so I don't have to wait for it to respawn and get it. There it is. If we get it now, then we'll have it for the rest of this room. And if we return, but we won't be coming back here most likely. There's the honeycomb. Okay, there's the key. If we go here, there's a hidden shop behind that block. Now, the lantern is $15 instead of $50. Same item. And this is why that other one's a trap. Need a light in the dark. Sure. Hints, the well is climbable. Okay. Balloon makes the bubble bigger. That means nothing. But we'll see what it means when we get a little bit further. So the last point of interest is the music box, which is right there. And now we have an ocarina, or flute. The dude right here above my head. He's got a vacuum cleaner. We've got the first high melody of the song. try and break 40. Oh, it's a little better. Okay, with that, we have gotten all of the points of interest in this area. Ow! So now I can just leave. Okay, that's actually it for all of the rooms on this floor. This is the one we came out of in order to get to this level. That one on the right was the kind of yellowish wood-looking room. So, the hint about the well being climbable comes into play here. That's the well. If we fall down, and if we were to come in here before getting the lantern, we could still get through here, but we wouldn't be able to see the climbable blocks, which was part of the hint. Alright, the well is climbable. But with the lantern, we can now see everything. And with the help of the glove, it makes this a little bit easier to see. And let's see, where is the block we need to break? There it is. It's also worth mentioning that if you don't have the lantern, being able to see what you're doing here is pretty difficult. Let's see, I could have sworn there was 2 blocks to break. There it is. Okay. Beep. I'm gonna miss the bee. Red Giant says, Raku failing at jumping again. Yep, it's pretty much my MO at this point. Okay, there's a honeycomb here. I think I missed it. At least if I can get back up. These weird octopus things throwing shurikens at me are dangerous. In fact, yeah, I think I have to go up 1 layer. Alright. Let me see. Well, if I break the blocks, that doesn't help me at all. There we go. We can go up that way. I want to say it's up here. There it is. It's gotta not die. Okay, we actually need those octopus enemies to get out, but not at the moment. We're ready to leave. So down here in the well, which is on fire for some inexplicable reason, if we didn't have the fire vest thing that I bought in the area before this, all of those purple flames would do a lot of damage. We wouldn't be able to get through. Where's the bee? I know there's a bee around here somewhere. There's still some that actively do damage. There it is. But most of them we can run through. Ah! And we're alright. Ow. Okay, I'm gonna need to farm that guy. We're about to go into another boss fight, and I don't really feel confident in doing it at half health. So gotta farm up some hearts. Another thing this game would benefit from is like a consumables inventory. Being able to, like Legend of Zelda style, pull up some helpful items to use. Like healing potions or other things, but your only inventory items are essentially passives. Uh-oh. I wasn't ready to go down there yet. That is a fire elemental. It just demolished my life. And the reason why I say like a healing item inventory or something would make it so you're not having to sit here and just spawn camp enemies to refill your life. Which is not really the most exciting gameplay in the world. Ah. I was hoping I was far enough off screen that those enemies wouldn't spawn. They are killable, but I don't know if they're killable before I beat the boss and get the upgrade to my bubble. Maybe not. Alright, let's get a couple more pips and we're going to go for it. The boss in this area is a bit tougher than the last one. Which is why I was hoping to not do it at half health. Alright. Close enough. Oh, there's a honeycomb down here. That's right. Okay, I didn't have to do that. It's fine. Alright. Next boss. This is, I think, supposed to be a bear. As AVGN has pointed out in his videos, it looks like a big turd that was run over by a steamroller. Follows the same pattern as the kangaroo dragon and pretty much all the bosses in this game, but its projectiles come out a bit faster, and this one might only do 2 pips of damage. As we go, the enemies are going to hit harder, move faster, have a higher life, but more or less they all behave kind of like this. We've got a bit more range, so we can kind of hang back, try and pelt it right in the eyeball. Alright. Poo monster's dead. So now we have diameter. Our bubbles are larger, which means I think they do more damage, but they have a larger area of contact, which is good. In here, we have a free shop. Wizard Ron Jeremy gives us a hammer. Enter through the front wall. That doesn't really tell us a lot, but we need that item in order to progress. So now we just need to get out of the well. And we can do that from anywhere. And I don't think we can kill the octopus enemies until we get this upgrade. Either that or it just takes a long time. So we'll see. But rather than wait for that guy to come over here, I'm just going to go back one screen. Come here. If we kill the octopus enemies, they drop a balloon, and the balloon creates a bubble and lifts us out of the well. That's what that hint was on the second floor. The balloon makes the bubble bigger is talking about that. How else would you know that? You wouldn't, unless you just killed those octopus enemies at random. You wouldn't know that. You would just have to guess. Or you could technically climb all the way out of the well, but it's some tricky jumping, and it's far faster to just kill the octopus enemies, get the balloon, and get high. Okay, we'll get... Let's fill our life up here. We're going into another boss fight shortly. If we had a shield, it would be nice, but I've been doing a terrible job at keeping a shield. Nova King says to Red Dragon, 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a wizard war. I cast manual breathing. If you've never seen the funny little cartoon skits done by Punky Doodles, you should check them out. They're pretty funny. It's wizard time, mother effer. Fireball! I cast tungsten ball sack. Okay. I think it's good enough. We'll see. For full up. Okay, so we got the hammer. It said enter through the front wall. What does that mean? If you push up in certain parts of the wall, now that we have the hammer, we can break through. And you wouldn't know that unless you just tried at random. Lava King says, hey, Rocco, I cast Dorito dust hands. Abracadabra, flagellus chlortion, give that wizard testicular torsion. Those bits are really funny. You should check them out if you haven't seen them. Okay, we got the saw. See? Seesaw. Can enter through windows. Okay. What does that mean? I'll show you. These grates here that we couldn't access before, now we can. And now there are points of interest around the castle that we can now access. Nothing here. But if you go in here, another boss. This is a pterodactyl. I think this one fires a bit faster than the poo monster. But fortunately we have the larger bubbles and the range, so we can kind of hang back and just shoot it. The bosses in this game do not really exhibit a ton of creativity until you get closer to the end. But it's pretty much just harder versions of this. I won't go super aggro. I don't have to refill my health again. 2 pips. 2 pips of damage. Red Dragon says I cast Lego floor. Well, that's just mean. There we go. Alvin says I cast irritated bowel syndrome. That's terrible. I cast. Your new password cannot be the same as your old 3 passwords. Okay, now we're on the second to last floor of the castle. And, well, this wasn't the room I was planning to go to, but we'll go here. There is stuff to gather here. I don't think there is a honeycomb here. If there is, I've never managed to find it. I've played this game many, many times. Kind of look around. Ballistic B says, I cast delayed sneeze. Lava King says, I cast taste metal. No, not taste metal. Come on, Red Dragon. Mouth farting is just what I do every time someone redeems Drop a Beat. That's just every day for me. that's the door. That's our way out of here. Of note, this particular level is one of the only ones in the game. In fact, it might be the only one in the game where the dollar blocks for money will respawn if you enter into a room and then come back out. So you can actually farm here. I'm not going to... Oh, there's the bee. And there goes the bee. Lame. And that's another fire elemental. We're gonna avoid that. There's the music box. Now we have a harp on the left, which adds a nice little complement melody to the flute. Oh, we're close to 50. Ah, a little better. Our drain says, I cast random stranger slaps. Well, that's rude. Lava says, I cast strand of hair on tongue. I like total tongue awareness. That one's pretty funny too. There's the other one where the one wizard goes, the other one goes, I cast iron. The other guy goes, you cast iron what? And then he gets whacked in the face with a skillet. A cast iron skillet. And he goes, why you? I cast rubber bones. The giant says, I cast paper cut on your dinky. Now that's just evil. How would that even happen? You know what? Don't answer that. Ah. Lava says, I cast fruit by the foot fingers. No, salad fingers. You guys know salad fingers. Uh-oh. There'll be a range of that. Okay, keep moving. We're gonna have to come back here a little bit later, so we don't need to spend too much time here. But there's a shop, which we should be able to afford something here. We got hints. A crown and a cane is needed at the 4th floor. That will come into play a little bit later. There's only one Maharito, who's, I believe, the name of the evil wizard we're trying to defeat. But we can buy the blimp. Glide down slowly. So now that we have the blimp, if we hold down the jump button, we have a little bit of slow fall. It lasts for a couple seconds, not the duration of your air time. But given how tight some of the jumps are in this game, having slow fall is nice. It can get you out of some annoying situations if you're not careful. Boiling eyeballs. Now see, I think the funnier wizard curses are the ones that are some sort of inane first world problem. And the idea that a wizard is using a spell to cast, like, just a mild annoyance and or first world problem, I think is funnier. Okay, let's grab a couple more of these regenerating tiles. We'll head out. Yeah, that's one of the ones from the video, Red Dragon. He says, like, I cast unreasonably slow Wi-Fi. Or unreasonably slow internet. The other good one is, I cast instant Brazilian wax. He does it to like a knoll and just looks at him weird and then happens and he goes, ah! Alright, where are we going now? Nope, not that one. Okay, next floor. This sort of purple block room has a whole bunch of pitfalls and spring blocks. It's kind of a precision jumping area with a lot of hazards. Ow. This is another spot where having the slow fall makes it a little bit easier to sort of jump across those disappearing blocks. And there's another shop here. A trap in left tower. Okay. Wow, this is a cast inside out shirt. I think scratchy shirt tag would be worse. Our giant says I cast hair in your eye. No, not the eyelash. A room below the fireplace. That's the kind of brick tile room we were in before. The fire elemental. For this one, lose weight and ride the elevators. I know I mentioned this in my playthrough of this before on stream back on YouTube. And I'm mentioning it again because it's one of my giant pet peeves as a person who works with a lot of writing. That typo up there where it says loose weight is one thing that drives me crazy when I see it in written text. It should be lose weight, 1-0. That is loose weight, like the opposite of tight. Loose. Lose weight, not loose weight. So, don't do that. That's a curse. Yes, so like baggy. Alright. So we need the... Ow! Oh, I'm gonna die. We need the honeycomb and the music box in that area. Oh, okay, yeah, it starts us back in here. That's good. There's a bee. Did I already trigger the bee? I don't know if I triggered the bee. There's the key. Let's go get the key first. There it is. Let's see, where's the honeycomb? Wow, those enemies are annoying. Those things that look like Cthulhu, Marge Simpson. Alright, is there a shop down here? No, there's not. Okay, I think the honeycomb is further up. Die. Andrea says, I cast always double click. Okay, now that one hits close to home. I think it's because I've spent so much time using a mouse. Sometimes my right hand twitches. Well, there's music box. And it causes me to double click. And it's been happening more and more. It's very annoying. Alright. Now we have a trumpet right here in the middle under me. It's a little bit harder to hear, but it comes in towards the end of the song. There's a new melody line that's coming from the trumpet. Man, I'm stuck in here. I think it's this line here. This synth is supposed to be the trumpet. I'm not even gonna break 40. Nah, not good. Okay, we need the honeycomb still, right? Oh, I think it's over here. There it is. And there's the bee. No! I hate the bee. I need to not die, too. Okay. Well, tops us up at least. Okay, we're good to get out of here now. Oh yeah, there's no shop at the bottom because we already got the one at the top. There's only one shop per room in the tower, I think, or castle. Okay, I'm just gonna go to the left. Well, it says I cast Colonel stuck between back molars. Oh. That's pretty bad. You try and get the floss and get it out, but all it does is push the kernel further up in your gums. It starts bleeding. That's terrible. Okay, nothing here. If we go up here, it drops us into this room, which is above the first room in the game. And that's just a whole bunch of cash money for free. Oh, I just had barely enough. Now we get spring shoes, jump high anywhere. So now, unlike the regular shoes that require those little platforms to jump off of, since we have the legitimate spring shoes, we now have super high jump. Very useful. We're actually pretty close to the end of the game. We're more than halfway. 2.5 hours? Let me see if I can beat this in under 3 hours for the stream today. Like I said, if you know what you're doing in this game, it actually doesn't take that long. And I'm getting all the items because I like to be a completionist. You don't even have to do that. Oh, here again. Oh, let's see. There's a boss here. They talked about the room below the fireplace. We can go give that a shot. That boss is one of the tougher ones. It'll start to get a little bit more difficult. I think we can get in there without killing the fire. It's just... we have to go around it. There is a way to kill the flame elemental, but we need a weapon for it. And I don't have it yet. So let's see if I can skirt past. Push, block. There it goes. Alright, so now we have our first boss subspecies. This is Purple Kangaroo Dragon. Same deal as the other ones. Fires a bit faster, does more damage. because we have high jump and slow fall, we actually line ourselves up pretty well. Oh boy, that's real damage. I might die here. Yeah, alright. We'll come back with a stronger weapon. Oh, that's just terrible, Red Dragon. Get a bidet. That should never happen. Lava says I cast water in ear. Oh, that's a good one too. You would all make fine wizards. Okay, let's refill our health. We'll come back to the purple kangaroo dragon. It is worth noting that the money in that room does respawn, I think, 2 or 3 times. You can just go back to that room, collect it all, and then rinse and repeat. But I'm going to need a decent amount of money. There's some upgrades I still need to buy. And one more music box. There's one more room on the 3rd floor we didn't go in yet. And then a couple more spots after. Hunter says I cast glass walls. Now I got one for you. I cast transparent eyelids. Good luck sleeping. Okay, that's probably good enough. Might be able to get some more. The next main floor does have a honeycomb in it. Love says I cast you lose the game? Like the game? Like the meme? Or like the game I'm playing? Because if you're making a the game reference in the year of our Lord 2025, that is quite impressive. That is a very obscure pull for the internet nowadays. The game? That doesn't answer my question. Where are we going? Up here? Yeah, okay. This is another room we haven't been to yet. Now see, random button presses is okay, Red Dragon. Even better, I cast half-second input lag. Okay, for this room, and oh, I know where the honeycomb is. It's on the other side. Okay, we have these kind of vine-looking blocks we can break and move through. Music box is over here. Right there. Okay, yes, the internet meme. Very good, Lava. Were you even born when that was a meme? Or would you have been like 3 years old? Alright, we now have the final layer of the track up in the upper left. Homeboy with a violin or a fiddle. I think it's a violin. We now have a high string part of the melody. Okay, so if you were born in 97, Lava, the I remember on the Chan boards that the game was a meme in like the mid 2000s. Like maybe 2003 or 4-ish. So yeah, you would have been like less than 10 years old. Which makes me want to turn into dust and vanish into the wind. Okay, let us keep moving through here. Honeycomb is on the right in this section. We need money. I think we need 50. We're gonna need some cash money to buy a really important item here. Our dragon says, no, random buttons is bad if you want to use a lift and the buttons are random. Oh, you mean like buttons everywhere, not just in like a game. I want to eject out of the plane, but the buttons are random. Yes, that could be a problem. You want to talk about real world problems? I cast instant colonoscopy. I have to deal with that soon. Don't get, well, I don't want to say don't get old, but that's one of the things you have to look forward to when you get old. Money blocks up here. Where is that honeycomb? Might be on the right. All the way far down. Wow, this is a cast health scare? That's too vague. That could be anything. Here's your curse. I cast American Health Insurance. Alright, key good. I'm about to die. Let me find that honeycomb. Alright, check my phone real quick. My dragon says I cast Bite Tongue. Oh. No, or even worse, the inside of your cheek. Or the inside of your cheek or the inside of your lip. You know, when you bite it and it develops a sore, and you have to be super careful eating it for like a week after that, because until it heals, it's easier to bite and then re-injure. Oh, that's the worst. Okay, that's everything down here. Main point of interest was the honeycomb. Now we need to go in the shop. Ow. Which is up here. By getting the feather, which we don't really need because it's accessible from here, it lets us ride that Tetris block looking lift. But we don't need it. We do need this though. The sword. Power up the bubble. Now our bubbles are multicolored. like a nice rainbow. That is a straight damage boost, I believe, to Milon's shots. So that would make things like the purple kangaroo dragon easier to kill. Ow. So we can head up and out of here. Let's see if the blocks have regenerated. I'm a little finicky trying to get up. I don't know exactly why sometimes that jump is a little bit harder to get to. I'm trying not to linger because I don't want the storm to turn back on. Oh, it says I cast cricket chirping every time you blink. I thought you said think at first. That's considerably worse. You monster. There we go. Okay, let's do the towers next. I'm gonna do 2 more fights before we circle back to the kangaroo dragon. So here, this is the towers that Wizard Ron Jeremy was talking about before. If we go up here, this is a dungeon. Alright, I can try and farm up some of these infinitely spawning bats to get some health. This boss is no pushover either. Now, Red Dragon, are you talking about long as in duration or long as in length? Because I feel like one of those was considerably worse than the other. Length? So just one incredibly long, unceasing turd. Well, that's horrifying. Now, I always thought there was a honeycomb in here, but I can't remember if I ever found one. The way this level works is it loops continuously as you go to the right. But the screen does change. It's just everything looks the same and you're essentially going down the platform. Or at an angle. Think of it like a spiral staircase. Okay, let's try and get some health. These bats spawn pretty quickly, but they're so erratic, it's easy to get clipped. Two more. Oh, I don't think I mentioned it before. The umbrella that spawns every once in a while is rapid fire. Okay, if we get to the bottom, it drops us in here. If we keep going, then the whole stage recycles and it restarts. So the name of the game here is we have to make our way back down to the bottom. Lava says I cast Scuff stream. That's every stream. That's just a given if you're a streamer. Okay, so at the top, if you break these blocks, and then jump through them, then it pops you down here below the spots we were just running endlessly. And we drop down here, and we have a purple version of the poo monster. I don't know strength-wise if this one's stronger or weaker than the kangaroo dragon. I think its pattern's a little bit slower for the shots. But having the sword will greatly help here. There we go. So for that one, I think that's distance, bubble distance. And we're dropped into this area, which we can't do a whole lot in yet. There's another item that we need that allows us to see invisible blocks, so I'm just gonna try and leave. We'll have to come back here. There is something of note we need to progress. We could do the other tower. There's three more bosses before the end of the game. So now this one is a more vertical level. There's all these disappearing blocks and endlessly spawning bats and a honeycomb. This area is actually very short. Just have to get to the bottom. These are all electrical hazards. They will fry us if we touch them. Ah. I like to think that the two curses that you put in the chat, you two, are in conjunction. No hands and 2 left feet. Your extremities will suffer for all eternity. Alright, we might have to go for it. Alright, we're doing the boss's rapid fire style now. We have a purple version of the pterodactyl. This one actually does fire considerably faster, but because we have the high jump and slow fall and range and damage up, we can hang back near the end of the platform and just pelt it in the face. But things do like 3 or 4 pips of damage, so it's pretty real. And the fight quick. As quick as possible. Okay, so that is, I think that's diameter. And now we have, this is the item I was thinking of, the fire extinguisher. This lets us kill the flame elementals. So that just leaves the purple kangaroo dragon. Let's go refill our health. Or dragon, I think like that one would fall under irritable bowel syndrome. Maybe situational irritable bowel syndrome. Alright, no more free money. Let's go farm for a bit. We are a couple sections away from the end of the game. So I say we go for it. And this will be more legit than the Blaster Master playthrough if I actually manage to beat it in this stream, since I haven't done any save states. I've continued a couple times, but other than that, I didn't cheat. You think about it, beating 2 games in one stream was kind of a record for me. Usually I beat 1 game every several months. Speaking of which, we'll be back to SMT5 next week. Oh, says I cast Shrunken Clothes. Oh, yeah, that's a bad one. There's nothing worse than getting a really nice new shirt and then accidentally putting it on high in the dryer, and it's become too small. Okay, we want this one. Yes, okay. I believe... I don't even know if we need money anymore. There's one more item to be got, but I think it's free. I don't think we have to buy it. We'll find out. Red says I cast Wet Spot. Wet Spot? That's concerningly vague. I don't like it. Alright, so if we touch this, it summons the flame elemental. But because we have the fire extinguisher, we can actually shoot it. Oh, man. But it's not easy to drop, and that just completely destroyed my health. Oh. I don't know if it respawns. I guess we're gonna find out. I'm gonna kill these enemies, try and top up. The kangaroo dragon is tough. If it respawns, I'm just gonna run past it. I don't want to bother dealing with that again. I don't know. We'll fill up more. Ah, a wet spot on an item of clothing. Wet spot on pants. I don't care who you are, that's a problem. Alright. Okay, it doesn't respawn. Rematch. Wow. That's a lot of damage. Oh, man. I'm gonna stay back. Just get hits when I can. Or die. Sticky underwear, awkward boner. Oh. Awkward boner? Oh no, it's like being a teenager again. Alright. Let's refill health. Actually, I'm gonna go straight to that area and I'll farm there. It's a little more dangerous, but let's do that. Oh, is that the only boss that's killed me? Trying to remember if one of the other earlier ones killed me. But that's the second time with the purple dragon. I think it's damage. I feel like the pterodactyl shoots faster. But I don't think... Maybe it hit me a couple times. But the dragon does pretty real damage. We can farm down here. Little crab enemies. Or we could farm the birds. Either or. Yeah, maybe I'll just wait till it respawns and just blast it from point blank right here. Or if I could stand on it where it spawns, that's brilliant. There we go. Lava says everyone always talks about don't make deals with the devil. Who's going to warn young people about the dangers of making arrangements with angels? Yeah, that's true. Just look at the Has-Been Hotel / Hell of a Boss universe. Angels aren't always the most virtuous. Still waiting for an announcement of Season 2 of Has-Been Hotel. It's been a bit. Alright, Red Dragon's gonna head off to sleep. Alright, yeah, thanks for hanging out, Red Dragon. You can check the archives to see how this ends. I am going to beat the game in this session. It might be a little bit longer, but I'm this far, I might as well do it. That way we don't have to continue it in another session. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be taking a look at a new save in Factorio that hopefully will go better than the last one. So feel free to stop on by. Alright, Lava's heading off too. Likewise, thanks for coming and chilling with us and for instigating the Wizard War. Oh, work tomorrow. I see. Well, make sure and get plenty of rest. I'm gonna assume that's what she meant. Alright, we'll try and get close to full health. Be able to get lucky with the drops. I don't want to keep farming endlessly here. My Dragon says I cast always needing the toilets. There are no winners in the Wizard War. Only casualties. Okay, I'm gonna go in with... I forgot about you. Ooh, NES, slow down. Lame. Duh. Tempting to just go to the store and buy health. But I can't remember if the last item I need I get charged for. So we're not going to do that. Okay, that's good enough. Round 3. Ah, come on, you sucker. There we go. Okay, another boss down. think that's hard to tell, diameter or distance. Okay, let's refill some health and I'll try and explain what the whole point of this area is. And now I gotta think of where that last shop is located. The last item in my inventory that I need to get is the one that lets me see invisible blocks. It's not necessary for getting through here, it's just easier because then I can actually see what I'm doing. But even without it, we can sort of just guess where the blocks are. And since we have the high jump, we have to just keep aiming up and out, but these infinitely spawning enemies make it a little bit difficult. Okay, let's keep making our way over here. Our target is... Where are you? There she is. Alright, that's the princess. She's clearly in trouble. So we need to get up to her. But I kind of need to heal a little bit. That might be good enough. Okay, we gotta drop down the side because these are pitfall blocks. If we touch her, she turns into evil Daffy Duck bat thing. But we kill that, and the fake princess gives us a scepter, or wand, I can't remember what they call it. But one of the hints said a crown and a scepter is needed to progress, or whatever. And so we've got to kill 2 of the fake princesses in order to get that item and get to the end of the game. The other tower, which was the vertical one with all the lightning? I don't remember which one, but the other tower that gets us into that invisible block areas where we need to go and get the other special item. But I gotta try and remember where the invisible ink tool's located. I feel like this stumped me for a little bit when I was playing through it on stream years ago. Let's see, it wasn't in the vine looking room. It wasn't in the room with all of the regenerating blocks. So that just leaves... No, it wasn't in the purple room either. Oh, I wonder. There's one spot I didn't check. There might be a wall I have to bust through. I'll take a look. Nope. Okay, I don't think we can get up there. For some reason, the super jump doesn't work on this overworld map screen. Nope, that goes down there. Okay. Yeah, can't be here. I don't think there's any spots in the game where you buy more than one useful item in a shop. It's one per level. Oh, hold on, I want to check something. There was... Oh, it's on the second floor, my bad. I think we went to the shop in the kind of wooded tree-looking area. That's where we got the... No, that wasn't where we got the lantern. Okay, let me look at one more spot. It is this one. Yeah, this one. That's a shop there. I just don't remember what was in it. Let's go look. Ah, okay, that was one we got. Alright. So there's nothing else of note here. Okay, let's double check this one as far as if this leads to the other invisible area. We can at least kill the fake princess that's there. Maybe top up on life. Okay, we're gonna keep going to the right, get to the top, and break the blocks to move into the secret section. It's the boss room. Okay. So this is kind of like a mirrored version of the other one. The layout's very similar. And the premise is the same. Invisible blocks. You gotta figure out how to get up to the fake princess. And she's over there. Maybe you won't stand right next to the demon bat thing. Okay, now we have the crown. That's our last item of interest here. Where is that last item? There is now a boss at the top of this floor. It's the last spot before the final section of the game. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure this is the shop where we got the blimp. But I don't think I saw more than one purchasable item here. Yeah, okay. Just hints. That final slot is... It looks like a tube of paint. Lets you see invisible blocks. Stop doing that. this is where the kangaroo dragon was. Okay. So not there. Unless it's one of... There it is. I didn't go in this one. Alright. Well, that's our last item. We've officially got everything. That would have taken me forever to figure out. Okay, we need to heal up. This next boss is tough. Alright, one sec. Phone's blown up. Okay, let's see if we can top up here. Should be relatively fast since the monsters respawn at a decent rate. Man. That's probably good enough. That works. Okay, so we've got all of the equipable items, all of the honeycombs. Oops, not this one. All the music boxes, all the honeycombs, all the power-ups. So now all that's left to do is head to the top of the tower, or top of this floor of the castle, rather. And we want that door over here, I think. And we have a new boss sprite. This is the skeleton dragon, who has the fastest fire rate of all the bosses. He's just whipping those fireballs out of there. I'm gonna assume 4 pips of damage. Oh, 3. Okay. Still trouble. And this is not the final boss. This is the last boss of this area. We need to kill him in order to get to the final section of the game. Ow. Uh-oh. There we go. It's a little close. Okay. I honestly can't tell. My bubbles are getting any bigger. But now we're at the top floor of the castle. And this is the last area. I'm going to go refill my health one more time. Hopefully one more time. Because this last section, I don't think it's harder than that boss, but it's tricky. There's a bit of a gimmick to the last area where the final boss is at. This also would have been a good place to still have a shield, although holding on to one this late in the game is tough. The last several bosses fire so many projectiles. If you can get through and maintain a shield, that's pretty high level. Even just like a healing point, kind of like the fairy fountains in Zelda or something that you can go to just refill your health, would go a long way for a game like this. I honestly think a modern level or modern age kind of action platformer using this game as a core could be a really cool concept. Like the kind of puzzle room exploration, the different abilities, the bonus games that build songs. I think you could do a lot with it. Even making like a more Metroidvania type game. Essentially this is, just without the ability to save. Maybe add abilities that kind of customize how Milon's bubbles work. So instead of it just being size and range, you could have different, like, augmented abilities, like seeking bubbles or like explosive bubbles or something. Alright, almost there. Okay, that should be good. We'll go ahead and head up and out. Now we're headed to the top, very top floor of the castle, past the boss we just killed, and that's the final section. Alright, top floor. So this area, which I don't know what it's officially called, but we have a bunch of rooms that have a similar layout, and they're full of the angry demon Bat Daffy Duck enemies. Only now they don't drop anything. We're just gonna keep going. Our point of interest is up at the top, which is supposed to be like, I think, the throne room. But let me get past these suckers. So up here, this dude is Maharito. This is the evil wizard. I'm pretty sure that's why they name him this. The one that kidnapped the princess. And he bounces around, and occasionally he'll open his arms to shoot projectiles at you, and that's when he can actually take damage. Not a terribly complex pattern, especially compared to the boss we just fought. But it's a little bit tricky with all of the Daffy Duck demons shooting at me. Uh-oh. No, don't go in there. Uh-oh. Get back here, you wiener. Alright. So, that was a fake one. And I'm gonna die. There is a bunch of rooms that look like this that are all different color and the same layout. I'm gonna have to go back and heal again, which is really annoying. If I had more money, I could just buy health, which maybe I should get more cash at some point. But basically, the gimmick here is you have to find the room that has the right final boss. They all behave the same. The layout is pretty much identical. You dodge the Daffy Duck demons, and you get to the boss, and then you take him out. And I've never bothered to look up if there's a rhyme or reason for which one. There's 4 rooms, I think 4 different colors. And I've never looked up if there's a system on how it works. I assume there's just random. So I just go sequentially to each room, kill the boss, and if I guessed right, then it's great. If not, move on to the next one. Or die. Come on. I'm pretty sure the viable health is one and done too. I don't know if those restock. For this reason, I think one of the biggest flaws of Milon Secret Castle, aside from the cryptic nature and how it doesn't really tell you what to do, it's definitely this aspect where late in the game when you have a lot of health and you're trying to clear a level, a boss, or what have you, and you die, or you run out of health, your only choice is to go back and just farm enemies. It's very tedious. But I guess this will be a good test since I've also never really checked. If we go back up to the final tier of the castle, since we didn't die, if we go in and go to the first room, if the fake boss is still there or if he's dead. If so, then it's just process of elimination. I would just maybe take out the duck demons on the way so that I have more of a clear shot at the boss and not getting mobbed from all sides. Because then it's just, you gotta go back and do it till you get the right one. If the boss comes back, then it might be a matter of having to do it in like one shot and guess the right one. We'll find out. Yeah, I could save state it before, but since we've already done this much of the playthrough legit just in this session, we'll just keep going without using any save states. Maybe I could do one game legit tonight for the stream. Okay, I think it's good enough. That's another thing that I think could be fixed a little bit. Not having any sort of hit invincibility or anything means you can just get infinitely chained by the enemies and just drain your life. I think that's kind of cheap. Okay, let's try that again. So the first room was blue? Well, we'll start with the first room and just see. If you can hear the boss bouncing around, then that would mean he respawns. And if we try and kill him again, and it's still fake, then it means it doesn't re-randomize. Get out of here. I did notice that when we killed the fake boss, it refilled some of our health. That's nice. No, I think he's gone. Okay. That's interesting. I'm gonna guess as long as we don't die, the fake bosses stay dead. So if it looks like we're gonna take too much damage, and I think it's best to just peace out and go heal. Yeah, okay, he's gone. Oh, we can shrink. Ah. Okay, I think we can run along the bottom. And it cycles the room. Yeah, okay. And now we can hear Homeboy bouncing around upstairs. Try and take out at least a couple of the birds. Or I can get sniped by the boss, that's fine. I think we push them off screen far enough, they'll despawn. Or at least they won't be in range to shoot me. Okay, there's the glove. Ow. Open up. Oh, no, it's another fake one. Okay, we'll just go. Okay, now there's a red room. Which we can just go straight there because we're small now. Come on. Oh. You're gonna get boxed in. Not good. Oh, that wasn't enough? Oh boy. Got him. Whew, I was like one hit away. Alright, so third guess was correct. Okay, this is the ending. We got a congratulations screen. Princess, who looks really goofy, has all of her gear. You bravely saved Castle Garland. Thank you, Milon. Yeehaw. And the game starts over from the beginning. No credit crawl or no nothing. That's it. There's no second quest, as far as I know. No additional content. You just start the game over from the beginning. All the stuff is back. It's just like a brand new playthrough. But that's Milon Secret Castle in a nutshell. And that was like, what, 2 hours? An hour and a half to beat? Again, flawed game, but I think it's pretty decent once you know what to do. It was a pretty fun time. There's no real safe place for me to stand. So let me go see who is online that we can raid, and we'll get ready to wrap up. Oh wait, Kondo's online. He's playing Rainbow Six Siege. We haven't had a chance to raid Kondo in a while, so let's go head over there and see how one of my fellow VTuber peers is doing. So let me cue this up. We'll go ahead and go to outro. And we will call that a stream for today. A little bit longer than usual, but we beat 2 whole NES games. So that's definitely something. We'll be back tomorrow with more Factorio. Got a new save and some stuff to talk about in that. So until then, thanks for hanging out, folks. Shout out to Awazi and the crew for the raid. And I will catch you all later. Now let's go see how Kondo's doing in the Rainbow Six. Have a good night, everybody.